Ask me back, shoot for the double. And when you try to get up, don't like fight like for your life to keep him down. Just let him get up and then boom, blast him to the body when he's trying to get away.
A couple of other points for me finally. And what did you make of AJ McKee's performance against Patricio?
Beautiful performance. Beautiful performance. I just saw the finish, to be honest, but what I saw, that was, yeah, beautiful, calculated.
But AJ is someone that you want to take on, yeah?
Yeah, later on, yeah. Of course, if that's who I have to fight for the title, that's who I have to fight for the title. And second of all, last time when I fought in Paris, you weren't there.
I was, I interviewed.
Oh, you did?
I interviewed the
Then it was Mohegan Sun, but I was like, man, people was asking me all kind of questions, and I see you looking hella slick with that suit and that, with those glasses. Who's your fashion guy? Where do you go? We need to talk about that afterwards. I like your style.
meet you at the bar.
You smooth as a mother.
Man, congrats on the win, man. Over here to your right. Do you think that that was the best striking performance of your career? I know it seemed like on the microphone that was something that you really wanted to get out there. It was like, hey, everybody thanks to me for my Japanese neckties and stuff, but...
So, yes and no. I had a fight in Cage Warriors, my last Cage Warriors fight, where I pieced the dude up too. But I gotta fight smart. Like I always say, you need to fight with this hit and not that hit. And that's what I did today. Like, I don't go in there to fight with my balls to say, excuse my French, I try to use my proper head and fight the fight the smartest way without taking damage. Like, yeah, and that was the plan today. I knew if I just went in there today and tried to fucking hunt the takedown, I would gas out. And he would start to do Emmanuel Sanchez just like a machine, just start going and you can't stop him. So yeah, just touch him, and then take him down when I could.
I couldn't help but notice when you came in the room, your leg's a little banged up. How did that happen, and what do you think's going on there?
I try to chew his low calf up, and yeah, that's how it happened.
Thanks, man.
Mads, I mean, I think that a lot of people saw this fight and say this is your breakout kind of performance. Like, do you see yourself now being, I know you want to fight obviously on the big card, but main event type of fighter after this one?
I haven't thought about it, but yeah.
When you look at the division, obviously you want AJ. Who are some of the other guys that, you know, because they've been locked into the tournament?
But first of all, I want to say I didn't call anybody out. So what you guys trying here, you want this, you want that. All I want now is Modelo and a burger, okay? That's what I want. So don't try to put something in my mouth I didn't say. I want to fight the best. We take that slowly. Slowly. We get that. Yeah, what was your question? Sorry.
How do you like your burger?
What burger I like?
How'd you like it?
In and out, baby.
Fat burger. We don't have fat burger in Denmark. In Denmark, we only have McDonald's and Burger King. Shit. That's why every time I go to America, it's depressing because every time I go here, it's 2 months and it's usually for a fight and I can't eat all the bullshit you guys have over here. So and I see my coach Dennis, every time I come home, he's right over there with the mask, yeah, looking hella slick, and young Jason Statham. But, so every time I come back from practice, he's eating chicken wings, this and that, and I'm just sitting there with my salad, like, fuck you, Dennis.
You get it with everything? You get it with it? You have a
I don't know, I just go in there and say, I want that. And that's it.
Get after it, congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, there were a couple of 30-27s and there was a 29-28 there. I'm curious how you scored the fight.
I won. That's what matters. Yeah.
So going into the third round.
I think actually I won all 3 rounds. But I can see that the uneducated eye would think that I got hit quite a lot when I walked him down and behind my guard and my shoulder roll. But it's part of strategy, like picking my shots into the body. He did hit me with a very good body shot in the second or the first. I was like, holy shit, that was good. But yeah.
We all seem to be enjoying you here. Are you as funny in Danish as you are in English?
I'm like the Danish Dave Chappelle.
All right, that's it for us. Thank you very much for the time, Mads.
Thank you guys. Have a good one.
Have a good time.
Oh,
Recording.
I'm sitting there for
boxer of all time.
Coker and
If he sees
then
this,
Major,
shout out, yo, he's my favorite boxer
No,
of all
what's
time.
Pit-
Hope Aaron boxing, I love that fight.
Okay, that,
Right.
I just that's coming up.
Didn't say a word.
Looking like five,
Before the event.
my prices will be maybe a little more than that, yo.
How long does that work?
I thought it was a, I thought it was a risky strategy. I
Look forward to get better and get back in there. I know what I'll talk about.
think I don't feel on the lectures. I
Look forward
was
Yes, sir.
So, let's just open it up.
Got a question, raise your hand for you, Mike.
Scott, good to go? Scott, congratulations on a great event. Talk to me about that main event. I mean, where do you think that goes down in Bellator history for moments?
I mean, that honestly was spectacular. I mean, you guys felt the energy in that room, and it was electric in there. And it had that big time, championship fight feeling. And, AJ did his thing, man. He was impressive. I mean, I've seen Pitbull fight for many years, and AJ did what he had to do, took care of business. It's won the tournament, won $1 million. I think he's very happy right now.
And I know you love talking about when you first met him, and you use him as a great example of your prospect development. But did that performance even surprise you a little bit with how quick and dominant it was?
Yeah, the very beginning of that fight, I thought Pitbull was trying to lure him in, and just kind of lure him in to start throwing his hands and start putting some power on him. But, I think that AJ completely dominated the fight, and then I think, pretty much he was out, and then he was out again. It seemed like that, got choked out, and it was, it wasn't his night. Pitbull's a great fighter. He's been a great champion. I mean, AJ is just, he's a rising star that became a big star tonight.
Hey Scott, right back here. Obviously, a lot of talk going into the fight was that if AJ wins, the possibility of running it back at 155 for Pitbull's title. Just your initial thoughts on that strategy, or what you might have in mind for the future.
That's something that I know AJ has talked to me about it. His dad has talked to me about it, and but we haven't talked to Pitbull. I mean, listen, give the kid a little break. I'm talking about Pitbull. Give him a little break. Let him see what he wants to do. But we're going to start making some calls maybe in a week or so and see what his feeling on that is. But there will be a time where he's going to have to defend it, and I've heard rumblings that AJ, this might be his last fight at 45. That he's having a hard time making weight, so he might have to go up to 55 and fight up there. But it's something that he'll have to decide. His father and his coaches will have to decide, and it's just too premature to really determine that right now.
As the promoter, how do you build on just this moment for AJ McKEE? He's already been, the homegrown star. Just how do you, what is your part now in getting him even further out there and letting more people know just how special this kid is?
I mean, I think that if you look at the promotion behind this fight, I mean, I think that the PR team, the digital team, Showtime, everybody did, all parts I felt were really in alignment, and they did a great job promoting this fight. And I think you saw it here today. I mean, it was so nice to have fans here and to feel the energy. I mean, could you imagine if this fight was in a no audience event, place where we had to do it? I mean, it wouldn't have been the same. And so, to me, AJ had a lot of fans here. You could hear him was passionate, and it was a great night.
The undercard felt like it was developing into Bellator Dagestan with Hassan, obviously Magomed Sharipov, Usman, Islam. Just can you talk a little bit about how everyone performed, and a lot of the guys seem to be, targeting that Fedor card in Moscow. Just your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I mean, we invited Usman to fight in Moscow because I don't think he's injured. So I talked to his manager before he left, and we're looking forward to having you fight again. We just want to keep him busy and keep him fighting, keep him developing. And listen, the fighters from that region have proven that they are dangerous and have, you know, fought many different places and had dominance in a lot of areas. So, to me, you know, it's something that we're gonna find the stars that, or the fighters that we want to build or have them compete in Bellator, and then we're gonna continue to fight them. And I think you just saw a few tonight. And if you talk about the Russia card, I mean, I think we probably have, you know, 15, 20 really good Russian athletes, CIS territory athletes, and you know, they're dangerous athletes over there. So, you know, we're looking for the world's best, and you know, they're from that region as well.
And speaking of that Russian card and also, you know, potentially other abroad cards, are you worried about the rising COVID cases and those cards actually happening? Is there any backup plan in case that doesn't happen?
You know, I'll tell you, we are monitoring it closely, obviously. I mean, when we planned our France event, Paris event last year, when we planned it, it was half capacity. We're gonna have 9,000-10,000 people there. And then COVID hit, started getting rising, and we started getting cut. It was down to 1,000 people by the time we got there. And then the week after, there was nobody allowed to even come to the country. So, you know, we're gonna be monitoring it. Hopefully, like in the UK, it's fully open. I think they're 85% vaccinated in the UK. So I feel good about that event. In Russia, I know they're doing what they need to do, and my feeling is that will be fully, you know, a full scale event like this was. And you know, maybe they might have some protocols with masks and things like that. But believe me, Vicom is really about protocols and making sure that all of our athletes and our staff, our production team is safe. So that's gonna be the number one priority moving forward. And if it changes, then we'll adapt. But right now, it's full steam ahead.
Would it be possible to take that entire card if, you know, you can't go to Russia, bring it back to Connecticut, or is that just?
Yeah. I mean, I think about if that Russia card, because listen, Fedor wants to fight, and these guys want to fight, so we're gonna fight them. And so if Russia, you know, if they're on lockdown and COVID starts ramping up to the point where we can't do it there, then of course we would find an alternate location. If it was something that we felt was gonna be a long-term situation that we couldn't postpone it, let's say a month or two. But you know, to me, we're gonna fight those guys, and you know, if Russia doesn't work out, maybe we come back to New York or Chicago area.
Hey, it's got down here, so you're that. You watched a lot of fights in your career here in Bellator, and he'd only been finished one time before, and it was an injury against Matt Henderson in 2016. And AJ, you know, beat him in 2 minutes and looked dominant. I mean, how do you put that into words exactly?
It's spectacular. I mean, this kid is dynamite, and I think that you know, I always felt, even AJ in his last 3 or 4 fights, you know, I felt that he was going to be a big star for Bellator, and he himself is recognizing how his ability has grown and who he can fight, and he's got a lot of confidence. This kid's got a lot of swagger. But I'll tell you, he had a lot of swagger when I met him at 17. So this is nothing for him. He's always believed in this. He's always had this as part of his destiny. Growing up in his dad's school at 3 or 4 years old, you know, and just growing up in the MMA community, this is nothing new for him. So he had a spectacular showing. It's probably one of the greatest finishes, I think, in the history of this company. And he fought a guy that was a killer. So this is not like he's, you know, fighting some guy that's just, you know, a contender. I mean, he's fighting a guy that has been the champ since we signed him back in 2014. So for the last 6-7 years, Pitbull's been the champ, and AJ's been growing and growing and growing. This was his opportunity to shine, and he took advantage of it.
Yeah, Scott, sorry, I don't need the microphone. Scott, just carrying on from what Mark Raimondi was saying there about AJ, it's the people, isn't it, who decide on a star and on a champion, and we, as you say, really felt it in the arena tonight. Is he potentially the catalyst for Bellator to go perhaps onto mainstream CBS, to get him on big chat shows, which we perhaps haven't had so far from the fight league?
Well, there is a plan in place for sure, and next year we are looking to do some specials with you know, CBS and the Parent Network. But you know, right now, I just want to enjoy this moment, and AJ enjoy this moment. But him fighting on you know, big CBS, I'm sure CBS would love it. I'm sure AJ would love it. I'm sure it'd be good for everybody. So yeah, it's possible. And I'm sure that, Showtime would love to have him fight on Showtime, and, who knows, maybe, he could become, not just a linear star, but a cable star, and then, he could just, take it from there. I mean, pay-per-view is a possibility. He told me he wants to box, so we'll see. I mean, maybe he could fight one of the Logan Paul brothers one day.
But it was a massive statement when he said he wants to be the Mayweather of MMA, and he's taken the first step tonight, hasn't
Yep, he definitely has. I mean, you saw it. I mean, the crowd loved him. This kid is special, and he's not afraid of anything, and he rose to the occasion, and I think you're going to see that a lot in his future performances.
Thank you.
Hey, Scott, over here. We talk a lot about AJ, and he's just 26, so he's just coming into his physical prime. What do you see about him in terms of his growth as a fighter? And can you talk about the intangibles that he has? What makes him unique to handle this kind of pressure? I mean, he seemed totally at ease in front of this crowd and expected him to win tonight.
Yeah, I mean, Josh, when I look at this kid, he's got striking, he's got the wrestling, he's got the jiu-jitsu, he's a complete fighter, and he's been that way for a beat, for a while. I think for the last 4, 5, 6 fights, and so he was ready to take this step. I think a little while ago, but when you look at what is his weakness, even I talked to his coaches before the fight, maybe a month ago, and they said this is going to be a tough fight because the kid has no weaknesses. Even they recognize that. Anything can happen. Pitbull is dangerous. He's got a lot of power. He's always, as far as I'm concerned, when I watch his performance in the past, he's never out of a fight. I mean, this kid has dynamite in both hands, and a great submission game. So, when I think about AJ and his game, it's going to be a tough kid to beat in the future, and this is the future of MMA. A kid that can do it all like this, and Josh, he's been doing this since he's 3, 4 years old. He grew up in the gym. This is nothing new for him. So, he's special, and his dad told me. His dad told me when he came to my office, 5, 6 years ago. He said, "This is the kid. He's special. I'm telling you right now." And he is right. The dad knew it. It's just part of his destiny.
One more, Casey.
Hey, Scott. This is just a simple question, but can you confidently say, regardless of promotion, is AJ McKEE the best featherweight in the world?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I would love to see him fight, against other people as well, as you guys would also. It's not going to happen because it's not the UFC's business model to do it. But you tell me this kid couldn't go in there and fight anybody right now. Everybody knows he can do it. So if they want to get it on, then we'll do it in a second. So that's how I feel.
All right, great. Thanks for the time,
Okay,
Scott.
thanks.
Go fuck yourself. And always subscribe.
And unsubscribe, he said. That's what we're doing.
People unsubscribe. Well, the one person, your mother.
Hey, it dropped to 0.
Drop. Hey, actually getting more subscribers. Yeah, exactly. I'll put you on camera once we get AJ on video.
It's just like he started doing it and always out.
He's the man. He's the man. Talk to me.
We're live.
I haven't been here for a long time.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, it had that.
Thank you. What do you,
Saw the coronation and potentially each star.
what are the best possible things there? You don't see the.
You can mention those and then that he's in the top 4 or 5 in the world.
I have.
Running it back.
No question.
Who's number one in music?
Are you including girls? And Anna Nunez would be number one.
Really?
No, what it is, that was my song.
I can't think about it. But, I do, look, tell me what comes on that. He's legit, he's got a legit following. How many followers?
So, about a
People decide whether to become a star.
nobody cares.
Nobody cares about every year. Yeah.
Snoop here. Snoop.
Champ, champ! Woo!
Shit out of it. I'm subscribing.
Hard work, determination.
All right, we are now being joined by Featherweight World Champion Adrian McKEE.
AJ, over here, you're right. First and foremost, congratulations on the win. I know this is something that you've envisioned for a long time, and as you sit up there right now, I mean, does it feel as sweet as you expected it to?
Yeah. It's been 22 years in the making, so man, to do it the way I did it, I said I was gonna do it in a stylistic fashion, you know. Done in one. When I rocked him, I was just like, that's it. I just knew it, you know. After the head kick, I hit him with that uppercut, and I don't know. I saw him quit. He didn't need it anymore. But like the ref says, don't stop punching until I tell you to.
You made your Bellator debut in April 2015, and you talked about numerous times in the past how Pitbull was the guy that you always had your sights set on. So when you envisioned that fight over time throughout the years, I mean, was that what you expected here tonight, a quick finish like that, or did you think that it was going to be more of a battle?
Honestly, I dreamt the fight. I knew I won the fight. I prayed about it, and the same night I had a vision. So I knew I had victory, but it wasn't the dream that I had, which is peculiar. So looking into it now, maybe that's the 155-pound title that I saw, you know, and I don't know. I'm just enjoying this moment, man. I knew it was gonna come. Just having favor in Most High and just staying prayed up, blessed up, you know. This is his moment, shine through me.
And everybody's always referred to your stardom as star potential, and I think tonight people saw that you are a star. That crowd out there was wild, dude. The #1 trending topic in the United States right now on social media. I mean, were you even surprised at the ovation you got out there and everything that transpired?
Nah, I knew it, man. I sold more tickets than I get paid. Like, I knew this whole arena was there for me, but you know, it's just phenomenal to have that much support. You know, the only thing that could compare to that was when Alima Lay fought in Hawaii and I was on her card. So I knew what kind of to expect from the crowd, you know, and it was just surreal, man, to have all those people there just behind you, you know what I mean, doing it not just for you, your family, yourself, but for the city. And man, it's just a blessing.
You mentioned you waited 22 years for this, and that is not a long time. When you think about, you know, how long other champions have waited to become champions. So what's next? You have a long career ahead of you.
Champ. You know, technically these are one. So for me, it's to make this become two. Yeah, that's the next step, you know. Being at 145 pounds isn't the easiest. Maybe we get some super fights going, but I'm pretty much done with the division at 145 pounds. So hop up to 155 pounds, you know. He's the best 145er. Was the best. I've pretty much been saying it, you know. Now people are seeing it, people are believing it. I am the best 145 pounder in the world. Whether it's UFC, 1FC, PFL, I don't care who it is. I got $1 million cash in my bank. I'm willing to put that up against anybody else. You know, I'm sure Showtime, Bellator, they'll match it. Let's do some super fights. Let's get some big stuff going. Let's change this sport like I've been saying. We can do it. Unify these belts.
Was this your last featherweight fight?
Depends. Depends. It honestly depends. It depends on who steps up to the line, you know what I mean? Health is key. Making 145 pounds it's I can do it, you know what I mean? But as I get older, as I get bigger, as I get stronger, as I become more of a man, obviously it's gonna get harder and harder and harder. So I've been wanting to move up. COVID, so forth, things have come into play to where it's kept me here a little bit longer than I expected, but man, God's time is perfect timing, and I'm enjoying it all, embracing it all in this moment.
Sometimes we see fighters or celebrities, you know, get their fame really young and kind of lose themselves. How do you plan on staying grounded?
I lost myself before the fame came. Straight up. So, yeah, I'm ready. Embrace it all, you know, live your best life and just stay focused, man. And like I said, man, this wasn't my victory tonight. This is the man upstairs. It was his victory.
AJ right here. Did you have nachos backstage?
I did not.
It's all
And my dad ate my damn Snickers. I was looking forward to it, but he ate it, so I'm bummed.
Hey, can you talk about the team you had with you? Obviously, Dad was in the corner, but I saw Rampage Jackson, who obviously you've known for such a long time since you were a kid. Can you talk about your corner?
So my corner, Pops, you know, he's always the head. Rampage was second. He's been there through this journey, watching me. You know, I remember when he was fighting in his Pride days. You know, we'd go up to Big Bear. He was doing his camps up there, and just watching him. You know, so from that, and then him putting on his own amateur shows, being able to fight on the amateur shows, winning his amateur division, and that was the fight Scott came to. So I didn't even know who Scott was at the time, but just to have people there in the audience scoping you out like that, you know what I mean? And just feeling and knowing what I was capable of. Like, I'm gonna go put on a show, and I'm gonna steal the show, and I'm gonna be a champion. Like, that was the goal that night, you know what I mean? That was the goal tonight, and it's nice to see all the hard work pay off.
Can you talk a little bit, were you able to exchange any words with Pitbull after the fight, anything else?
Yeah, he said he wasn't out. Maybe he wasn't satisfied, but I could put him out again. He's got that 55-pound title, so like I said, champ. I want all the belts.
I know competitively you obviously want that strap, but personally, the rivalry, is it, as they say, is it over? Or is it, you know, do you feel like there's still more to be said between you two, even if he wasn't the champion, for example?
He's not satisfied. We can do it again. I got no problem. He didn't land a punch. I'll give you another opportunity.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Hey, sir. Real quick question. What are you gonna do with that big giant check? I mean, like literally the check. Are you gonna frame it?
Frame it for sure. I don't know. Maybe auction it, something. Who knows? We'll figure it out one day. Figure it out one day.
If you do, make sure you make it like a TikTok video of you going to the bank and trying to deposit it.
That big ass thing? Will they even take it?
Yeah.
Will they? They're like signing it back. I'm like, there's no spot for that.
Also, the head kick. Was that something you always envisioned from the very first time you saw Pitbull fight, or is it very particular to this camp?
Yeah, no, it wasn't the head kick, but I knew it was going to be a left kick. We have video footage of me saying, quoted, it will be a left kick, either the body or the head. So maybe we could release that too now. Like I said, it's just adapting while you're in there and being able to dissect things. I knew he watched me training in the backstage, so he was going to stay to the right and kind of keep his distance and watch the teep kicks coming forward. So I thought I'd switch it up, show him my absolute lengthiest range, and tell him if he comes forward that something tragic's going to happen. So I was throwing the John Jones kicks to his knees, let him know, like, you come in here, you're going to have to deal with something. And then he threw that one jab, and that was it. He was like, geez, he read that, you know what I mean? So it was just keeping him at bay. That was the key, you know, and then I started attacking the outside leg. He didn't like that outside leg kick, you know, and that was only one of them. So from there, he started circling to the opposite way. At that point, Now I'm thinking attacks left side, but he was so focused on the left hand, he didn't think anything about the kicks.
AJ McKEE, 18-0, every victory's been in Bellator. It's a rarity these days. Would you say with confidence, $1 Million Man, that you are the face of this promotion?
Hands down. Hands down. I've been here. I've been the man since I stepped in this cage.
Of these three names at 145, who would you say would be the biggest challenge for you?
None.
Max Holloway, Brian Ortega, or Alex Volkanovski?
I would say Max Holloway. That was always my dream fight, super fight as a kid, you know. I've watched him just pick apart people. But at the end of the day, like I said, I'm the best 145-pounder in the world. The world. I don't care who it is. I'm gonna show up and show out every time.
What's the first thing you're gonna purchase with that $1 million?
Not the car.
No,
Can
hell
I
no.
please?
GT2
GT2 RS, baby.
You guys love to see him fight. You don't need no fast car.
Is that or a Ducati? I keep trying to get that or a Ducati, but he doesn't want me on 2 wheels. So I don't know, man. I really don't know. We'll see. I read that quote, you know, if you can't buy it 10 times, don't buy it. So that GT2 RS, I need about another 3 mil. So I don't know yet. We'll see. We shall see. I really have no idea. I haven't even processed that yet.
AJ, congratulations. My favorite part of your walkout was when you threw all the money. Whose idea was that? Was that your idea?
Yeah, actually, well, I think Pops came up with it, you know? We call him the wizard. He comes up with all kind of things. Especially me just trying to be the money man, you know what I mean? Trying to set the bar high and show people, like, at the end of the day, the money isn't the motive, but it's nice to have it in the bank. So, you know, I think that's gonna be my new thing, making it rain when I walk out.
And when I talked to you before the fight, I asked you what's going to be your celebratory dinner. What is the first thing you're going to do once you leave this venue? Is it going to be popping bottles of champagne, or do we have Krispy Kreme on the way already?
Well, we already popped 1 bottle, so we might as well keep it going. I got a little after party going, so I'm going to go hang out with all my friends and family and just enjoy the night. Maybe get some Astros on the way delivered there. Let's see.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Garrett and then Josh.
AJ, congratulations.
Thank you.
And you're a stupendous young champion. Obviously you're thanking the Lord as well for your victory, but maybe you could say a few words about your father. He's always by your side. We all know him. He never stops talking about you. But maybe you could say about getting to this point and what it would have been like without having him here.
I don't think I'd be here without him. Actually, I wouldn't be here without him. That's a fact. Just going through the things that I went through early on, he's kind of just sat by my side and let me take my own course, you know? He's not like a parent that's gonna tell you, you have to do this, you have to do this. Like, at the end of the day, he never wanted me fighting, because he knows what this sport is about. Him being a first-generation fighter coming in making $50, fighting in wrestling shoes, like, it was a different world, you know what I mean? To now, got $1 million checks. There's actually a reasonable amount of money in the sport, so, he's like, man, you're different, but you have to realize you're different and put the work in. If you don't put the work in, then it's like you're just wasting your talent. So over the years, he's just kind of kept me by his side, his side until, like, I'd say about, what, last 6 months?
6 months ago.
6 months ago, he gave me the clear to just become my own man. And I can honestly say, when I look in the mirror now, I look and I'm like, damn, you are becoming your own man at 26. Like, doing things on your own, you know what I mean? Taking care of my 15-year-old brother, so it's like I'm taking on roles where you don't have time to be a kid and mess around and play, you know what I mean? You gotta just focus, buckle down, and just, man, adapt, you know? That's the key to life, it's the key to fighting, you know? When things get rough, when things go hard, what are you gonna do? Either you fold, give in, or you bite down, you buckle up.
And finally from me, do you intend to stay as active as you possibly can be?
Definitely.
Like 3-4 times a year?
Definitely. If I'm knocking people out first rounds, run it back. Let's go 2 months from now. What's up? Especially if I'm going up to 55s.
Well done, mate. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, AJ, congratulations.
Thank you.
You talked about the fight before that, you know, your grandfather Lefty had his commemoration in your house, and your dad had a championship belt, now you have it as well. Can you just talk about what that means to you?
Man, it's just, this is the beginning to my legacy, and now I could go get my picture taken, you know what I mean? Put mine next to my dad's, you know? I've stared at that thing for years. Come get that one day, get that one day. Even my amateur belts, like, they're cool, but this is something different right here, you know? This is, it's all his hard work. All his hard work, all my hard work. It's all put together, the time, the days in, the days out, the hard work, the blood, the sweat, the tears, like, everything all together. So, I don't know, man, it's surreal. I still haven't, how many names are in this 6'3"? That's the one, that's going right above my bed. We can put this one in the gym bed. This one going above my bed.
And you're 26, and you're just now entering your physical prime. I asked you before the fight, do you feel like a man? And you said, yeah, you're starting to feel physically like a man. How much better of a fighter can you be 5 years from now than you are today?
That's a good question. I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. You know, keep reaching new plateaus, stay in the gym. I'll be in the gym Monday. No days off. You know, that's, even though I won a world championship, like, right back in the gym. I got teammates that need me. They need to learn, they need to adapt and evolve as well. So, and like I said, I'm the older one in the gym. Jesus, like, you know what I mean? Like, I was always that young kid. So, like, now I'm the older one. Like, I gotta motivate these guys and show them, like, this is how you become the best. The countless days in, the countless hours. So, that's what I'm looking forward to, is getting back in the gym and sitting down with my father, my manager, and see what's next. Sit down with Bellator as well.
Last thing for me, can you share your day with us? Where did you sleep? Where did you wake up? What did you think about? How did you feel before this moment, hitting the forum and knowing what was in front of you?
I woke up, I tried to go downstairs and eat. Funny thing, 11:11 was what time we got downstairs. The guy closed the restaurant. No, you guys can't sit down and eat. So I had to go get food. I'm like, man, like, whatever. Like, I'm not missing breakfast. This is a must. So we went to go grab some food, came back, ate the food, went to sleep, woke up, stressed out about some tickets a little bit. I don't know, I'm like my dad. I stay busy, and in the chaoticness, we find comfort, which is kind of weird. You know what I mean? It keeps our mind busy and focused on everything else besides what we need to focus on. But in the back of our mind, we're still focused the entire time. So, like, I just kept doing things after and after and after, you know, one after another. Got the tickets taken care of. Got the sweatsuits taken care of for everybody. Got dressed. What did we do? Then we went downstairs, hopped on the bus, came to the venue, and that was it.
And once you got here, you felt at home. How'd you feel?
Oh yeah. Once I got here, I went out and saw the arena, saw how many people were here. I wanted to just kind of embrace it. You know what I mean? Just to know how much went into this moment. You know, from Showtime to Bellator to all my friends, my family, like, they're all here. So I just wanted to go out there and show them some love beforehand and get warmed up, man. It's motivation, you know, just embracing it. And I think that's the big key. A lot of fighters aren't able to embrace it. So that's the big key, is embrace it, embrace it, embrace it. Like, I love the cameras now.
All right, last two questions, one from Randall.
AJ back here. You talked about the 7 O's at, you know, the one at the end of the checks, the one at the end of your record. Now you finally accomplished that. How do you feel?
I feel accomplished, but I'm ready for another goal, you know? Like the song I wanted to walk out to, Hippie Sabotage, it's never enough. It's never enough, you know? Till I'm making employee checks, 100 mil, it's never enough. And even when I make that, it's still not enough.
Now, Rampage talked about that you would be your dad's revenge on this sport. Do you feel like you've done that already?
Nah, this is just the beginning. We are finally getting the respect and the recognition we deserve, but now you got a price to pay for the disrespect. Nothing goes unsolved.
First of all, big congratulations, you did it. I gotta ask you this, where do you place yourself in the context of all divisions?
Number one.
And then Scott mentioned that you're thinking of boxing, he mentioned the Paul brothers. But realistically, with Bellator's on Showtime knows a lot of boxing. Which Showtime fighter would you be interested in fighting?
Floyd.
But what would happen in that fight?
I would have a lot of respect for him. Straight up. I'm the best in my sport, he's the best in his sport. I would just enjoy sharing that moment with him. You know what I mean? He's like my dad. I call my dad my antique. If you going hard with my antique in the gym, I'm gonna fuck you up. Straight up. Be careful. You hurt my antique, we got a problem. So it's like these younger guys that aren't in the sport like that, no disrespect, but they have something to prove. I don't have anything to come into this boxing sport and prove against Floyd. Like, it's just me wanting to be acknowledged as the best in my sport and sharing a moment with another great in his sport. And that's where I would enjoy that moment. And hopefully it'll happen one day. He told me he doesn't fight anymore, so I'm like, all right, cool. You never know, man. You never know.
My last question, you looked at your phone, how many text messages, how many phone calls have you gotten since the fight?
Shit, still scrolling, dog. Should we check this one? Yeah, that's more problems.
You gonna get back to everybody?
Look, you saw how far I was scrolling? This is the phone nobody's supposed to have.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're good. Thank you guys.
Thanks, AJ.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Photo with your belt?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I still haven't figured out how to hold it.
And also Patricio will be coming after.
Danny, do you put the mics out? The mic out. Thank you.
Shout out to the forum. Taking care of. He's at home. He's at home. I only got one Pitbull to walk this Hey, can y'all help me? Dad? Hey, somebody help him, Antonio. Right. Congrats, AJ. Thank you, guys.
We came up in that era, an hour and a half. It's a little easier to go. I don't have to worry about my son. He's still
Yeah, of course. It's cool to watch. That's great for you. I mean, I guess it's pretty good.
No, I feel good. You know, I'm not satisfied.
That was cool. Definitely, I don't have as much experience as some of you, but I thought that was. Revisited, it's like you're like, oh wow, this is why I'm here. You know,
This
cool kid.
stay grounded.
Antonio, can you talk in stripped away from all sorts of something that really something that we want to include more precariously.
I expect people less, you know what I mean? I'm not really an emotional guy, it's not how I do. But I'm proud, but I'm not like.
Yeah, you too. Yeah. Hopefully I'll see you some, hopefully it won't be another pandemic. You ever interested in association? Yeah, yeah, for sure. We'll talk. Thanks, Josh.
To me, this is.
Bring it to him.
And your don't seem very different to what you were yesterday outside of the way when we chatted in your tank.
You're a man of God, you serve God, and you do it the right way. You get and if it's not the God, then it's the spiritual, whatever you want to call it. I'm not into religion. There is something on the other side that I believe that we connect to. So therefore, we pray in and pray out. I do. He's got me. I don't want to jeopardize myself. But I it is what it is. I mean, I'm a man, I just, you know, I really have a hard time. My son is the best fighter in the world. I like Daniel Daniel, to me it doesn't matter. He's AJ McKEE. So I won't get involved with his relationship and whatever it is, but it's only just for my son. Well, you should be thankful that you lit a fire up under my son's ass, really. National school, because he's back in Renton, now she's in Renton. Then you put him back and he has some residences and
Yeah.
but still, you know, stay home. You don't want to be cocky about it. So that first call. Show up. Show them what we're doing. Yeah. I'm sure that's
fucking hell, what? Is that what it's
Yeah.
Piece of shit. Okay, look at that.
Yeah, what's that?
I have my headphones so I couldn't understand, but.
Not bad, for sure.
Nice. Nothing wrong with that?
Yeah, I'll take that.
This was gonna show up. I don't believe this was gonna show up. Boxing motherfuckers already at the top.
All right, we are now being joined by Patricio Pitbull.
Pitbull, straight back here. Patricio, obviously the fight didn't go the way you expected. Can you just give us your initial thoughts after everything now that it's been a minute?
This night it was great. He kicked my hand and he almost knocked me out and he almost finished me at the same night. So he was good. Congratulations. Now he's the champ.
Did anything surprise you about what he brought out there? Was he faster, stronger, or anything in that little bit you fought?
No, I knew that. It was a mistake. I was used to that, but he was very well this night.
We spoke with AJ recently. He said that he talked with you a little bit and said that you told him that you were not out. Can you just tell us your side, what you said to him?
Yeah, I watched the fight. I knew I wasn't asleep, but I saw my hands like this slowly. I was standing, but hands, rules. That's it. I fight. I want to fight to the end. That's my
There was a lot of talk about what's next, you know, like would you want to run it back at 155? Do you want to stay at 145? Can you just talk a little bit about what you think might be next for you?
I spent a lot of years without being defeated, and today is a new day for me. It's a different kind of feeling, and I want to rest a little bit, enjoy my son, my wife, you know, but I will come back stronger. I know that. Everyone say that one get defeated, but I am different.
Patricio, right down here in front of you, you say that, you know, this is a feeling you haven't experienced much in a long time. I think 2016 was the last time that was an injury. So do you feel like in a weird way that this could kind of light a fire under you and make you have even more motivation going forward?
I'm always motivated, you know. I don't know, my debut it was in 2004. And now I have a lot of years fighting and dedicating myself in this game. And I'm hungry every time, but I know now I need a break, a little break.
Thanks.
You have your son here with you, and I'm curious if you're going to use this experience to show him what it's like to lose. How you respond to loss.
I already told him, son, today was a bad day, but it's part of the life. And for me, he's happy, he's little boy, and he doesn't understand very well, but I know he's gonna remember this.
What was his favorite part of fight week?
Stay with my family and bring them to the chaos, but still in love with them. It's nice.
Patricio. Patricio, over here to your right, Gareth here. You were asked just now, obviously you're going to have time to think about it, and you know, we know how competitive you are and how motivated you are. Is it possible in a week's time where you think, do you know what, this guy just took the 145 belt from me, I want to fight the same guy at 155?
You said that?
No, I'm asking you.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm asking you, if maybe in a week's time.
Before the fight, I think he told somebody something like this, and it's a good thing. You know, he beat me in the featherweight division. I know he's big. He has trouble to cut weight, and let's think about it. I have a belt. I still a world champion.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If we do something like that, this time I'd like for it to be in Brazil. This guy's been in here for 10 years, double champ, winning his fighter in Bellator history, most title defenses. Why are we fighting in Los Angeles? He's the champ. We're fighting in the challenger's hometown. Next one, great, he won. Give it all to him. He slept in his own bed. He's a legend. His dad's a legend here, born and raised here. He's born and raised here. 99% of the fans cheering for AJ. We're at his house, yet he's the double champ. Great, he won. Let's do it in Brazil next. One time, bring it to Brazil for the champ.
Was it disappointing that they were booing you on the way in?
I'm used to it. It's been part of the game. I'm fighting his house, but it's not wrong. I don't care.
All right, thank you very much.
Say, Brazilians don't care, but Americans do. I'm 16 games in the NFL I played to get home field advantage. 180 in baseball. He's the world champ. I mean, when you ask a warrior, hey, where do you want to fight? They say anywhere, anytime. But obviously not in the hometown of the challenger, giving them all the advantage, the youth, the range, the reach, and then throw all the home field advantage where he's sleeping and training in his own gym. We traveled 36 hours to get here. I mean, let's switch it up one time.
That's why he's my coach. He's right. I agree.
What are you trying to
thank you, guys.
Can you say it again?
What do you tell people who love you before you fanático?
Just thank you everyone who was cheering for me. I am good. My mother was crying, and I know it's a bad night for us, but stay the sport. Let's do it again.
Obrigado.
Thanks for
Obrigado. Do you know what? I'm glad it came out. That was a fucking good interview. It was.
Pega o monstro aqui é patrocinador, Matheus.
What you said last.